Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I am Rusty. This is a page all about pressure washing, paver sealing, soft washing, anything to do with this industry we cover here. So I want to teach you guys today a quick and painless way to tint pavers on the fly. So there's a lot of methods to do some restoration, but then there's a simple way if you just want to add a little pizzazz to a scape like this. Stick around. If this video helps you, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to the channel so we can reach more entrepreneurs. So in a minute, we'll get into the ratios, how I apply the tint and all that good stuff. But really quick, I just want to tell you guys why I would add tint to a hardscape like this for those that maybe are confused or just don't understand why I would add tint to nice pavers like this. As you can see, this hardscape is in fairly good condition. This is all prepped, by the way, clean, sanded, ready to go. Got rid of all organic staining and non-organic staining. But anyway, as you can see, these bricks have slight bit of aggregate showing, which is the white stuff. It's the mix of the actual stone, and it's just shining through a little bit because of the wear and tear on these pavers. So if you look at an area over here, up here doesn't get vehicle traffic, not as much wear and tear, and you can see there's not much aggregate showing, and these are just in much better shape. So with that said, the point of adding the tint on this hardscape is just to blend that in a little bit, mask it, add a little bit more color pop, and just kind of separate ourselves from the guys in here that are just spraying the sealer. Okay, before we jump into it, let's go over the tools and some of the equipment you will need to perform the tinting, and then I'll also share some more budget-friendly options if you don't have the funds or the tools to use what I'm using. But all of this is fairly cheap, so the budget option is especially cheaper. So to start things off, if you seal, you should have a guard already. That is my Home Depot guard. It's just a paint guard with a Home Depot trad pull, which is a window cleaner tool in their window cleaning section. And this just gives me more reach, not bending, blowing out my back all day. And then next, you need your tint, obviously. I highly recommend Shades. I've used a couple different tints, and this one is just the most accurate, the most precise. It's always consistent with my ratios. I know how to use this stuff really quickly now, and it's not a headache like it used to be. So Shades mixed with Seal is just a lethal combo. Next, from Home Depot, you're gonna want a measuring cup with ounces on it. So right here you can see the ounce measurements. This is gonna come in handy when we're doing our ratios. Next up, you will want a cone nozzle. So this is going to spray a light mist rather than a fan degree or something heavy. And that's going to be paired with my 12-volt spray system from Sailfish Spray. I will put that in the link below in the video description. So if you guys want something and you like this setup throughout the video, you can buy one. Very affordable, very useful tool, will make you a ton of money. But this is just speeding up the tinting process. Like I said, for the budget option, you can use a pump sprayer for your tint. A lot of guys recommend that so they're not putting down too much tint. But with the experience I have in tinting and doing it so often, I can finesse the 12-volt system and just move a lot quicker. Other than that, you guys, all the other tools I'm going to be using are just regular things that you should have if you're in this industry, and paver sealing you should have anyway, like a mixing drill, things of that nature. Also, I forgot to mention, you guys, you will want a Home Depot bucket with gallon measurements, again, just so we can be precise with our dilution ratios. But let's jump into step number one. So this is a method that I've learned through trial and error. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but hey, it gets me good results, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. I know quite a few guys that do it like this, so I'm not crazy. This is just one of the few ways that you can tint pavers, but we're going to start by adding water into our Home Depot bucket. So because I know how much to use per square foot, not that there's an exact measurement, but I know that 3.5 gallons of mix is going to cover this driveway. So we're going to do 3.5 gallons of water to 4 to 5 ounces of tint, and then mix that all up and spray it on the stones before we actually spray the sealer. So what I've noticed spraying the tint with the water compared to spraying the tint in my Uraseal is a couple things. One, it's more forgiving with the water. If you mess up or you spray it somewhere that it shouldn't have gone, or you went too heavy, it's more easy to manage that when it's mixed with water compared to mixing it with your Uraseal. When you mix it with your Uraseal, that's what you get. That's pretty much what you get. There's not much going back and forth when it's mixed in that sealer, and you guys know that sealer is not cheap, so it's not like you can just scratch a bucket off and say, you know, we'll use more. You may do that in the learning process, but that's not ideal in my opinion. And another reason that I like mixing it with water first and spraying the tint alone is because I feel like the results are longer lasting in this method. So I've noticed that when I mixed it with my sealer before, that it just kind of fades out with the sealer and doesn't last as long. But when I spray it with the water, I get a little more longevity out of the color. Okay, so we're gonna go with double tan for this job. We're going to put 4 ounces, we're gonna do 5 actually. We're gonna do 5 ounces of Urashades into here and then into here, mix it up, apply it on the bricks back here. So the reason I'm going with double tan is because, as you can see, this scape when wet has a brown hue to it. So we're just going to make those browns a little bit darker. We're going to blend in that aggregate showing, and that's it. It's nothing crazy, you guys. There's red and yellow tones in here. Those are still going to remain because this is a shade. It's not a dominant color. It's just going to darken things up with a brown tint a little bit. You can use black. A lot of people use black. I like double tan. I use black on like darker scapes. Actually, like this one right here, these are a darker red gray blend. Scapes like that is when I would use black. When everything is dominantly brown to the eye, that's when I'll use the double tan. So either way, double tan or black would almost do the same thing on this scape and look very similar. But again, you just need to test and try out yourself. I'm just hoping to get you along in that process a little easier. Okay, before we get started, let me just break it down really quick. 12-volt sprayer from Sailfish, ready to go. If you guys want one of these and you want this quick connect system that I'm on, call JR so he can fix that up for you. Doesn't come stock, but I have everything, including my gun, on quick connects. Just makes it easier. Storage is easier. Cleaning is easier. I have my guard. I have my pump sprayer with water. That's why we busted out the pump sprayer earlier. And before I start spraying the tint, what we're going to do, any area that I am guarding, I'm going to spray with water first. So this whole perimeter, water, 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 water. And then once we get up to the garage door area, water. And I'm still going to guard. And then this way, if I do get a little overspray on something, it's being repelled by that water barrier, and then I'll go back, rinse it down quickly, and that will take care of any color going on to areas that you don't want it to be. So as you guys can see as I'm spraying, I'm not going heavy at all. More than anything, I'm trying to be consistent with the coat that's going down. I'm not using a fan pattern. I'm doing circular motions with a cone tip, and this is just going to spread that tint evenly. And this is honestly one of the hardest parts about tinting, is getting that tint down evenly. But with a few tips that you will hear, in this video. It should help you out quite a bit, but let's keep moving forward. So this area is complete, you guys, tinted. You can kind of see the difference. It's hard to tell because this is just a much more well-preserved area than this is, but this is just normally wet, obviously what the sealant would look like, and then you have the tint up here. So for a better example, let's get a good look at this walkway, and then we will tint it and I'll show you guys again. All right, walkway is complete. As you can see, the brown tint, it just helped almost make it look more like these well-preserved pavers. That's what we're going for here, just to make them look a little fresher, a little newer, add a little bit more color. But that is complete. Nice coat of tint throughout the walkway. Now we are going to work up to this area, spray it with water again, guard it, spray it with water if need be, if we get any material on there. But again, get a good look of the driveway, then we will show an after of the driveway with the tint. I want to stress you guys, as you saw me spraying the walkway and that front patio area, that I am being very consistent with my spray pattern, with the heaviness of my coat. All that stuff is very important when spraying tint. Also sealer, but with sealer, you know, it's a little more forgiving. You can go a little heavier in certain areas to a certain point and it's not really gonna show. But with tint, you want to, in your head, think that this has to be perfect in order for this to work out, because there is small room for error when tinting. I don't want to make it sound like this is a super easy process, but when it's done right, it doesn't have to be a headache, it doesn't have to be scary, and you can get beautiful results from this process. So as you guys can see here, we've got that section tinted. I went from the bush line over there across, so that way I know where to come down, don't have to be too close to the garage. As you can see, I guarded that entire area just to be safe. But tint, no tint, kind of what it would look like sealed with the Uraseal, wet look with the tint. So as you can see, it's gonna just add a little pizzazz to this hardscape. Another thing I like about the tint, I feel like it clogs up the pores a little bit before you spray that sealer, so you get a better enhancement with the sealer when you tint previously. I just love this method all around, but I need to get to work, you guys. I'm gonna finish this job. Use the same methods when you get to areas like this. You know, same methods I showed you in this video. Guard the cement. Don't let any cement on that sidewalk. Don't let any tint on that sidewalk. But if this helped you guys out, please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. It shows me that you guys like this content, this style of video. I make quite a different amount of videos, so let me know what you like best. All right, before I head out of here, actually, let me show you the hardscape. Completely done with tint. Can't leave you guys hanging, but here we go. This is all tinted. This is all tinted. Everything is tinted, ready for sealing. So as you guys can see from the befores and afters, I'll post them right here. This is just adding that flair, you guys. This is gonna separate you. And here is the same hardscape with very dirty, with no tint, no sealant, but good to go. Thank you guys, as always, for watching the videos. Peace for real this time.